Good morning, afternoon, and evening for everyone who is watching. Thank you for tuning in to see another Lone Wolf podcast video. It's produced by Lone Wolf Studio. I am Lone Wolf. You have probably seen me and a lot of others. Starting soon, there will be more people actually doing podcasts for me. I will be doing some, but there will also be other people joining, such as my brothers and sisters. This is kind of an announcement on top of the actual video, which will be playing as well. I am going to repost my Insta below, so you can reach out to me on Instagram for any questions, concerns, or anything that you think that needs to be talked about on the podcast. Thank you again for all the support that you guys have provided with me and thank you for sticking with me ever since day one. Today, I'm going to talk about and actually answer a couple of people's deals on Instagram. Like I said, I do not give names or locations. I keep all of that private. I had a couple of people reach out to me and say that, or ask me, what do I do for a living? I'm a ranch hand. I work with horses and cattle. I don't do much cattle anymore. I did a little bit. Didn't really care about it too much. I'm more into horses, given that I like teaching. I like showing people how to ride. So that's my pathing. So I had somebody ask me, what do I do if a horse is not listening to me? I have a perfect answer to that. If your horse does not answer you or listen to you, it is not because your horse is stupid. It's not because your horse is trying to fight you. Your horse is getting mixed emotions. Say I just asked my horse to go left, but I'm guiding him to the right with my reins. He's getting mixed emotions. He's going to go to the right, but I wanted him to go to the left. You see, it's the person who guides the horse. Here's how you can fix that. If you are on horseback, well, you know what? Let's start on the ground. If you're on the ground working your horse, you have a lead around your horse, you have it in one hand, and you're walking him in circles, and you want to change. Have your horse not turn on the outside, but the inside towards you. Here's why. If you have him turn on the outside, your lead is going to tighten. He's going to think you're wanting him to go the other direction or to stay that direction. So he's going to keep going that way. If you have him teach him to turn on the inside, not only can he look at you and see your emotions and see where you're wanting him to go, because here's the thing that most people don't realize. A horse will watch your eyes. Most people don't realize that. A horse will watch your head and your eyes, because the first part of the human body that says, I want this direction, is going to be your head and your eyes. Because, like, when I play drums, the first thing I do is, if I'm playing drums, I immediately turn to the drum I'm playing next, or I'll look at it with my eyes. I'll glance my head down and I'll look at it dead with my eyes, and then I will transition over. Because the eyes and the head are the main things controlling a human body. So they have to look before your body turns to make sure that area is clear. That's the exact same thing a horse will pay attention to. If you turn your body a certain direction while you're sitting in a saddle, the horse is going to turn that direction. The horse responds to your movements. You have to keep your movements steady and clean. I can't stress that enough with people. I've seen people get bucked off. I've seen people almost get ran over. It's because they move too quick. You need to slow down and take a breather. You have to remember, a horse can kill you. You have to be slow. If you're going to walk behind a horse, you need to have your hand on their rear end so they know where you're at. Because some of them horses won't pay attention. They'll just kick. If there's a horsefly on them, they will just kick. They won't look. That's how they are. If they perceive a threat, they're not going to look at that threat before they kick. They're going to kick, and then they're going to look. It's exactly how fight first, reality check later. That's what a horse does. Is that wrong? No. Is it not proper? It's somewhat. But here's the thing. If you look into the deal and you pay attention to your horse, what your horse wants and how your horse responds, you will be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about any of that. Just keep in mind that you have to be slow. No matter who says what, you have to be slow. A good horseman is not a dead horseman. Keep that in mind. Because a good horseman didn't do something that gets him killed. But a bad horseman did something that got him killed. A lot of people look at that and go, that's pretty straightforward. I could have thought of that. Okay, you could have thought of that, but tell me that when you get stomped on by your horse. People, and here's the thing. I'm going to go back to what I was saying. Groundwork. You guys want to get this done. A horse takes time, okay? You got to be patient. It's just like a dog. He's not going to get it on the first, second, third, fourth, fifth time, however long. He's not going to get it until he understands what you're asking. You have to use treats with dogs. It's the same thing with horse. You have to treat them. When you get done working your horse and he finally gives you the one thing you want, rest him. That is the biggest accomplishment for a horse, is he gets to rest. Give him 2 minutes to 5 minutes rest. That is the biggest thing a horse could ever ask for. You walk up to him, you give him some love, you pat his head and let him just rest. Because if you overwork your horse, you don't accomplish anything. You need to make sure that when you are working your horse, you need to read your horse's emotions. If they start bleeding out of the nose, don't worry about that. That's normal. But know that you're probably not giving him enough rest in between sets of when he does something right. So give him a little longer rest. Wipe up that blood. Get him all cleaned up. And then start him again. A horse doesn't like to be overly worked. That's something that has been a factor in life for a long time. You see horses drop dead on you out in the desert and stuff. It's because they get overworked and it kills them. You always need to let your horse rest. I'm going to move on to horseback. If you're on your horse when he is giving you trouble, first thing you do, grab your reins, deep breath, pull up, and stop your horse. That's the first thing you're going to do. You're going to stop your horse. Back him up. Every time you stop your horse, you're going to back that horse up. Say 3 to 4 steps back. And that's 1 per leg. So left leg will be 2 steps. Right leg will be 2 or 1. That is how you stop your horse and you show him, hey, listen, I'm in control here. If your horse won't back up, you kick him. You're not going to hurt him. If you kick with them spurs, you are not going to hurt him. They have so much fat on them, it's like little bee stings. You don't die from them and you don't get too hurt from them. They sting a little bit and then they swell up. It's like a bee sting, but just with a spur instead. If you do that with your horse, they will eventually see that, okay, I'm doing something wrong. And then you show them the right way. Work on them a tiny bit. Walk them in circles. Just work with them. It's best you work inside an arena before you start going out, because there are things that will happen on that trail that you weren't expecting and that you could have fixed in the arena, and you're bucked off and your horse ran off on you. That's exactly how it goes. The other thing is, when you're on horseback, you need to go slow. I know I said that earlier. It is crucial. I mean crucial you go slow. Because if you go too fast, that horse will buck you right off. And it will hurt. Trust me. You need to go slow. Think about your movements. So I say I'm on a horse right now. Okay? I got my reins. In one hand and they're down low. All right. I want to turn to the right. I'm going to lift up on my reins, grab them, slide down. Not all the way. Slide down a little bit, grab them, and then I have shortened my reins. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to pull towards my hip. But I'm going to lean. So I'm going to turn to where I want to go. He's going to feel my shift in my rear end on the saddle, and he's going to feel that against his mouth, and he knows I want to go this way. Another thing you do is when you pull, you leave your left hand with the other rein and you press it against his neck. So he knows, oh, he definitely wants to go that way. That is how that works. It goes the same with the left side. You do the same process, but instead of pulling down here, you're going to pull on your left side down and then lead over on your right. And it's the same process for any horse. You just have to go slow. Like you saw me. I said, first you're going to lift up and slide down. That right there tells your horse, okay, I'm about to get told a certain direction. I'm about to do a certain thing. I need to pay attention. I need to look. This is crucial. I mean, so freaking crucial. If you screw up this progress or this process, not only could your horse go the direction you don't want to go, you're going to get mad and kick your horse, and then he's going to do it more because you didn't take the time to figure out what you did wrong and fix it. A lot of people want to immediately, no, I want it this way. No, take your time. Slow, and I mean slow. If you don't go slow, it's a death sentence. That's what I tell people. The other thing about working your horse, mistakes. There is one thing that you will understand. A horse will make more mistakes than a human. They don't have the brain capacity we do. Like I said, it takes time. It takes patience. Work your horse several days a week, okay? Give him a couple days rest, okay? But work your horse. If you don't let up on the work, your horse will learn faster. But if you work 1 day a week, 2 days a week, that's when it gets trouble. I say work about 5 days a week, if not 4. 4 is your minimum. That gives them 3 days rest. I'd say 6 is your maximum. Give them 1 day of rest at least. That is your best bet for how to work your horse if your horse is not listening to you. And reward them. Chopped up apples, carrots, reward them. I mean, if you want to feed your horse an apple, make sure it's cut up into small slices. If you want to feed them a carrot, make sure you give pointed end first, not the big end. And only let them have half of a carrot. That's what I normally say, because sometimes they get a little big and they can choke on that. If you're going to really let them have some carrot, chop it up and give them little bits. That's also a reward for them. And then another thing is, if they do a really good job that day, turn them out with the other horses. Let them have their fun with the other horses. But you don't torture a horse by separating it. You separate it to show, hey, if you're bothering the other horses, I'm going to separate you so you'll learn how to put in your own lane. You can put your other horse out there with your horses. I mean, that's not really going to affect too much, but it will kind of give that sense of accomplishment. Hey, I must have done something right today. And then if you have trouble all day, don't just put them up and say, screw you. If you put him up, don't tie him up. At least leave him in a pen right next to the other horses. But when they run off, he will be like, oh, I can't go with them because I'm stuck. That's how it goes. Well, thank you guys so much for checking in today. I will probably start a new channel called Lone Wolf Country Ways. And I can't wait for that channel to get out. I'm actually going to be getting rid of my podcast channel. And the Country Ways channel will actually be my new, improved podcast channel. So you will get to hear different deals and stuff like that. Well, thank you guys so much for checking in. You guys have a blessed day.